That's something that only President Trump can explain, because his aides here at the White House have basically stopped commenting on his tweets, especially when he tweets about the Russia investigation. His lawyers, likewise, are being tight-lipped about why he's saying the things he's saying. But what's for sure is that the stuff he's putting out there is definitely going to get a close look by special counsel Robert Mueller, who's looking into whether the president obstructed justice in this investigation. The fact that he keeps tweeting and sharing his thoughts on this is only going to hurt his cause, according to some legal experts that I've spoken to.
You know, he's also lashing out at his own Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, who wrote a memo just before Comey's firing. So Trump himself has said that he would have fired Comey regardless of that memo. Is there any indication that Rosenstein will have to recuse himself in all this?
Well, according to some reports today, Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein is considering exactly that because of how he's become enmeshed in this investigation. And that's part of the reason why he appointed Robert Mueller in the first place, was to assure as much independence as possible. So if there's any inkling that he might become a witness in this investigation, that he might have any kind of conflict of interest, I wouldn't be surprised to see him officially recuse himself.
On Thursday, Rosenstein released a statement warning Americans to exercise caution with stories attributed to anonymous officials. What do you make of that?
Well, Tony, that's a statement that really came out of left field. It's not something in my years of covering the White House here have seen, especially from the Department of Justice. Really what it looked like was Rosenstein trying to really defend the integrity of Mueller's investigation, which has suffered from a few disclosures this week. That one, that he's looking at whether the president obstructed justice, and two, his team is looking into senior aide Jared Kushner's financial dealings as part of that investigation. So there's clearly some people who are very upset about those disclosures, and the Deputy Attorney General wanted to do what he could to stamp those out.
In terms of what Bob Mueller is looking for, do we have any idea? Why would he try to uncover Kushner's business dealings?
Well, it's too early to say exactly why, but there's been some dealings that Jared Kushner has had with some bank executives in Russia who have connections to Vladimir Putin, and those dealings reportedly had to do with some real estate holdings that his company had in New York. But the investigators are turning over every rock possible in this probe to see whether those dealings had any connection to the Russian effort to meddle in the 2016 elections. So the investigators are going to be looking at whether there's any connection between the two. So far, there's not been any evidence really produced that there's collusion, but they're certainly going to be taking a good hard look at that in the weeks and months ahead.
And meanwhile, and this is interesting, Mike Pence, Vice President Mike Pence, has hired outside legal counsel. I guess there's some concern that he's going to be swept up in all this?
Yeah, it's certainly a precautionary move by Vice President Pence. You'll recall that he was enmeshed in the whole controversy surrounding the firing of National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. You'll remember that Flynn misled the vice president, who then went out publicly and said that he hadn't discussed sanctions with Russia's ambassador to the United States. So the fact that the vice president was that directly involved in all of this likely prompted his decision to hire an attorney to represent himself.
All right, Jordan Fabian, White House correspondent for The Hill. Jordan, thank you very much.
Thank you.